Thank you very much. Okay, so first of all, I'm just going to check in on your mood, right? Okay, so mood that you bring with you on the day is part of champion mindset and is the precursor to how you think. So who's feeling brilliant? Stick your hand up. Okay, right. It's got to be an authentic brilliant. Okay, who's feeling a bit awesome? Right, okay, well, we want to get that up. Who's feeling good today? Okay, look at that. Wow, yeah. I teach Qigong, and that's a movement in Tai Chi and Qigong. Fantastic. Okay, who's feeling okay? Who's feeling tired? Yeah, you can also feel tired. Anybody feeling almost like the Grinch? There's no Grinches in the room. Someone's trying to put someone's arm up. Okay, good. So why I'm here today, I'm delighted to have been asked to share with you my learnings about how you develop a champion mindset. And I'm going to use my sport to do that, which is a pretty big goal that I achieved. But I'm going to apply it to you for whatever goals, whether it's achieving your exams, whether it's achieving your greatest state of well-being. Who goes to the gym here or does some form of exercise? Just put your hands up. Okay. Right, so there's a few hands going like that. Who's got goals here they'd like to achieve in 2023? Definitely. What's your goal in 2023?
Oh, well, I'm not sure.
You're not sure, but you know you're going to have some. Fantastic. So you've got some intentions.
Pass my driving test.
Pass your driving test. Who else has got something? Anybody else got a driving test? Yeah. Okay. Any other goals in 2023? Right. Have you got exams in 2023? They should be on your radar as goals. But look, this is about how do you get the right mindset, and you'll have it inside of you because there'll be things that you've done and achieved in your life, even at this young age, that will have brought some of this champion mindset. But what I'm planning to do with you today is just take you through my story, really. And hopefully you can take nuggets of that will help you shine in your exams, in your driving test, etc. Whatever it is you want to do. Goals aren't always about winning world championships. They can be about being the best person you are, getting up with a great mood, being great with relationships, whatever. So, champion mindset journey. It starts with, I'm going to start today with my story. I hope you find it interesting. It is pretty unique. Then I'm going to talk a little bit about what is a champion mindset, because I wasn't born with one. People think I was born with a champion mindset because I'm uber positive. Am I not so? I was not. Pardon?
Bit annoyingly positive sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, that's a bit of feedback. No, that's fine. So I have cultivated a champion mindset in all aspects of my life. I'm going to talk to you, which is why I checked in, about what's the energy and mood you bring to any situation, because that's your software program for anything you approach. Whether it's a night out, whether it's sitting down to do revision, whether it's going to the gym, whether it's meeting up with mates, the energy in you and your mood is the thing that will make it a great experience, an average experience, or a not so good experience. And I've got a nice way of showing that as well. And then I'm going to talk about how do you create a vision. So driving test, 2023? Yeah, you got a vision of passing? Have you? Is it clear in your mind?
Partially clear.
Right, we're going to get it really clear today. Really clear. Okay, good. And I want you to message Sue, to message me to know you've passed, okay? And then we're going to talk about habits, because habits are part of champion mindset. Are you up for that? Stick your hand up in the air and say yes if you are. A hand up in the air, everybody?
Come on. Yeah.
Yes? Everybody a yes? Yes. You know the reason why? The reason why, this is not fluffy stuff. You are activating that part of your brain which is about learning. Okay. So, my story, my journey. So, listen, this is not about showing pictures of myself. I'm trying to do it pictorially. So, I became a world famous bodybuilder. And I started, and I'm going to tell you the story of it because it's quite funny. So here's my first competition. Here is when I ultimately won the Miss Universe, which is the top accolade in the world. And then here's where I teach martial arts. Okay, so I'm gonna share the story because it's pretty funny, because I sort of landed into it by chance, really. So you can see, I don't look very happy here, do I? I'm standing on stage, I haven't really got a clue what I'm doing. It's the first time I've ever competed, and I'm petrified. And one of the things about going for things in a champion mindset is there will always be fear. But what you have to bring is a big dose of courage. So I stepped on the stage, didn't have a clue what I was doing, stood like that, and won that championship. And won the most promising bodybuilder in the UK on that first competition. And so much so, the trophy had a man on the top of it, because I was in the era where women didn't even really go near gyms. It's not like now where gyms are part of our culture. You know, the gyms I trained in were like Rocky style gyms with power lifters. You know, some of the guys that are on the World's Strongest Man, I trained in those type of gyms. And then I went on to win I went on from that to win the United Kingdom Championships. I then went straight on to win the British Championships. I went straight on to win the European Championships. I went straight on to win the World Championships in Australia. And it culminated in me winning not just the Miss Universe. And I'm not bragging, because that's not me. I want to tell you my story, because you can achieve anything you want. And then I went on to win the overall Miss Universe, which is the ultimate. So it's a bit like boxing, where you have weight categories. I won over all of the height categories. And then I retired and I started to do martial arts, and now I'm a martial arts teacher, and I'm a Tai Chi teacher, but I use it as a martial art. It might look really soft and flowing, but it's lethal. And I decided at this point to retire, because I'd done everything I achieved to do. And I decided my life needed to go in another direction. And I had my beautiful daughter, who's now 27 and wiser than me. So the funny thing was, this started for the cost of £1. And how that happened was, I'd always been quite sporty at school. I had won, I was in a badminton league, won that. And I was picked out for the volleyball team, because when anybody play volleyball here? No, but it was big when I was at school. When you'd spike the ball, I would bring the tiles, which are really high on the ceiling. I'd unstick them from the roof. So I was called to the head of sports department to, thought I was going to be told off, thought I was going to go on detention, thought I was going to have to pay, because I had strength. So I was always into sport in some way, but I don't want this to be about sport. I want this to be about, for you, what is it that you have an inkling of that you'd like to achieve in your life? Whether it's I want to learn as much, we were having a little conversation this morning, weren't we, about learning as much about wellness, whether it's about passing your driving test, whether it's about, you know, really achieving your exams and ultimately getting to the best uni, whether it's about at some stage in my career, I'd love to be this. So I always wanted to be a dancer and a singer. I'd love to be this. It's about what the dream is, and you'll have an inkling of it. And if you don't, it will emerge. Or it just might be, I just want to enjoy 2023, because we've just come out of the most horrendous phase no one could have imagined. So my friend phones me up and says, I've just joined a gym, and it was like a posh gym. And I did do a bit of weight training. And she said, I paid 200 quid, which was a lot of money then, an awful lot of money. She said, but I've got this offer. I've got a mate's rate, and I can join you for £1. And I said, what do you think I said? She said, I can join you for £1. What do you think my response was? Just have a guess. Was it a yes? Was it a no? It was a no. I said, I'm not doing that body beautiful thing. I hate that. They all preen about the stage. But then I felt sorry for her. I thought, I'll go along and I will keep her company and just train. And what I noticed was my body responded really, really quickly. So in our family, we've got, I would say, Irish genetics, big calves, big biceps, potato farmers. So my body just responded really quickly. And somebody said to me, why don't you enter this first timers competition? Well, I didn't have a clue. I didn't have a clue, but I thought, well, I'm training, I might as well. And that was where I went there. It was at the Floral Pavilion in New Brighton, which has been revamped, rebuilt, but was a decrepit old theatre, stood on the stage shaking, not knowing what to do, doing a bit of a double biceps, and won. So I faced that challenge with courage and with fear. I ate a whole chicken the night before, so if you're into food, you know you never eat protein the night before you compete, you always eat carbs. Anyway, so I joined this gym, and that pound took me to the universe. And I remember going to see a bodybuilding competition before I'd stepped on stage, and I watched somebody on the stage and I went, I want to do that. I'd like to win one of them. Never imagining in my wildest imaginations that I could be the top of the world. So over a period of years, so I started training when I was 23. I won the universe when I was 32. I had a fantastic coach who I knew. I used to do karate when I was 18. I hated it because I had an inner rebel. Anybody in here got an inner rebel? Don't tell your teachers. That, someone goes, go again. I go, who's going again? And I had this inner rebel inside me. So when I went to karate at 18 before it started this, I hated being told what to do by the instructor. But he eventually became my coach. And he is one of the world's top martial artists. He's the Bruce Lee of the West. Phenomenal. And we knew each other, and it's not like Strictly. We fell in love, but it wasn't like Strictly. We fell in love through training. We fell in love, over years, and we got married eventually. But during this phase, he was my coach. And he brought to that the discipline of you do it again, you do something again. If you want to pass your driving test, you do it again. If you want to achieve your exams, you revise again. You hardwire your brain till it becomes almost automatic, and your unconscious mind just takes it in as part of your new patterns. And that's the thing about a champion mindset. It's almost like you don't think about brushing your teeth in the morning, you just do it. It's a pattern, it's a habit. So he trained me, and one thing he said, and I want you to hear this, folks, because it's really important. In America, they have a saying that, hey, winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. I'll just say that again. Winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. And he said to me, don't take that on. He said, enjoy the journey. And he said, enjoy the training, enjoy the diet. How can you enjoy tuna and rice for 7 nights a week, or tuna and chicken 7 nights a week? But I learned to love it. My treat was the chewable vitamin C at the end of the meal because it was sweet. But I was coaching 3 ladies who are going to climb the Himalayas last week because I'm a coach, a mindset coach. And they were saying, we've got to get to the top and we've got to touch the plinth. And I went, no, you've got to enjoy the first chunk of that journey. You get to a certain level and you celebrate that. And you set that as your goal. So too many people go, that's my big goal. Oh my God, it looks like Everest. No, I'm going to enjoy that day. At the end of the day, we're going to mine for all the successes we've had in that day. We're starting to deal with the altitude sickness, etc. And at the end of this coaching session, they went, it's not about touching the plinth. It's about the step-by-step journey on the way to that plinth, and that will aid us to do it. And that was what my coach taught me. Enjoy the journey. So are you enjoying your driving lessons? Are you, who else, you enjoy, who's doing the driving test?
I am.
Are you enjoying your driving lessons?
Oh, sometimes.
Sometimes. Right. On the times you're not, what happens?
It's just a bit tricky.
Right.
Get stressed.
What do you learn about yourself that will help you for the next time? Apart from maybe doing the technique, but what do you learn about your mind?
That you should stay calm.
Right. Now, I'm going to show you something. Hold the word should. Okay. Because when you use should, you're shoulding on yourself. And I say to people, stop shoulding on yourself. I will stay calm. I am staying calm. So we have will I am. Okay. Who else has got a goal? Share with me a goal. You've got a goal about finding everything you can about well-being. So what's good for you and what's not? Okay. Okay. So do you chunk that down? Because there's so much out there now, isn't there? There's train like this, eat like this, keto diet, paleo diet. You look at specific areas, brilliant. So the journey, folks, is important. So the journey won me. The newcomers, I won lots of others in between, the Cheshire Staffs, the North West, I won the United Kingdom, the British, the Europe, the world and the universe, because I never focused on the universe, I focused on the step in front of me. My goal became the workout, my goal became the food I would eat that day, and at the end of the day I'd go, what's been really good about my steps towards that goal? And I just forgot that bit there, really. If I'd put one foot in front of the other, I knew I was winning. So what did I learn about champion mindset? And this is what I'm going to get you to just, in your mind, think about. First of all, the question is, would you like to have a champion mindset? Is a champion mindset something, because when people who have a champion mindset tend to shine, they tend to be really clear. Put your hand up if you'd like to have more of a champion mindset. Just let me see if you're willing. Okay? Yeah, go on. Yeah, great. Great. Do you want one? Not bothered? What don't you know?
I don't know.
Right, you might know at the end. Would you like one? Yeah, good. Okay. It's a little bit like, you can't leave it on the shelf. Here's all the elements that I've learned about having a champion mindset. First of all, have some type of vision. Now people go, I haven't got a vision. It doesn't have to be a big goal. It could just be something like, here's mine. Here's mine at the moment. I'd like a clean office, a tidy office. That's my goal. That's my intention. Because I'm like, Sue would tell you, I'm like that. You know, so I'm always super busy. So have a vision or a goal intention. It doesn't have to be big. And I'm going to share a story about my daughter in a minute, which will show you the power of having a goal. A goal, a vision or an intention. I intend to have a brilliant 2023 and see that. So people with a champion mindset have a strong will. Will I am. They have a will I am. I will have one and I am having one. And when I was coaching these three ladies last week, one was saying, I'm already imagining I can't make this climb. And I said to her, are you willing to make this climb? And as soon as I said that, she went, absolutely, I am willing. So I am willing is a really good, powerful internal thought or internal mantra you can have. The big thing and the driving lesson that doesn't go great, yeah, you have to have them. To be a champion mindset, you have to have them. You have the ability to overcome obstacles. My first driving test did a reverse, parallel to the pavement on the opposite side of the road. Thought I was driving abroad. And I said to him, can I do it again? He went, no. And I thought, oh, you meanie. So the ability to overcome obstacles and setbacks, but learn from them. That's how you become more resilient. What happened then, that if I had the chance to do it again, I wouldn't do that. Or I would do that. This, really important. Compassion and kindness for yourself. 90,000 thoughts you have a day. Did you realise you had 90,000 thoughts a day? Now here's the thing, 90,000 thoughts a day. Many of those thoughts, if they were in your fridge, would be past their sell-by date because they're not always kind to ourselves. I'm rubbish at this, I haven't done that, I can't do this, this is too hard, I have no confidence. Anybody say I have no confidence? You don't have to put your hand up, I'm just asking the question. Have no confidence, I don't believe I can. And what happens to your body when you do that? And you go small. So, I believe I can. Or ask yourself, if you've got something that you need to approach, rather than go, I believe I can, because that might feel inauthentic. Because I picked up somebody before who said, I'm really authentic. Was it you? I'm very genuine, you said, didn't you? And I said, yeah. When I said, are you feeling awesome? And you went, I'm always genuine. Yeah, or something like that, you did. If you feel you can't say, I know I can do it, ask yourself a question. Can I do it? And you will activate a part of your unconscious mind that will go to a different part of the brain, which will go, yeah, I can do that. I can, I will, I am. But the thing here is about how do you treat yourself? How do you talk to yourself? What's your first thought in the day? Oh God, no, it's Monday. It's probably a better thought because you're finishing today. It's Monday, dread. Do you know what you do when you do that? Your body produces a chemistry which is full of cortisol, which produces about 14,000 hormones that make you feel low mood. So, I am willing to have a great day. It's going to be a good day today. Anything that comes my way I can handle. All those type of thinking is what a champion mindset. Even if you don't know, you are now programming this part of your brain, the front part of the brain, to operate on your behalf. So be really careful about the thoughts that you choose to feed yourself. Can't do that. Oh, not another history lesson. Oh, not another exam. It's an exam and I've got all the resources inside of me to do a really good job. See the difference? Belief in yourself. So one of the things I do, didn't need to do it today because I knew I was going to work with a really good bunch of people, but if I'm feeling nervous, I create a ring of power in front of me and I put in that ring of power whatever I need to do a really good job. So if I'm working with leaders, I do a lot of work with leaders, and I know I'm going to have a tough time, I'll put confidence in the ring of power. I worked with Paul McKenna on this. Confidence, optimism and belief, and I'll step into it. And I'll feel confidence, optimism, and that sense of belief. Very powerful technique. 90,000 thoughts. Use them really well. Belief in yourself, integrity and respect. Champions work with integrity and respect. When I was in Australia, the German coach tried to get me to go in the short class. Now, I'm not lofty, but his girl and his team was here. And he was saying, you need to go in the short class and my girl needs to go in the tall class. And my coach, who comes from obviously a martial arts background, full of integrity around this stuff, he said, let's get them two measured against they had all the wooden height tapes. And he said to me, whatever class you go in your right class, and whether you win or you lose, always do the right thing. And that's integrity and respect. And this German was really trying to outwit me, really. And that taught me a lot about champion mindset is about having integrity and respect and doing the right thing. And the big thing is habits. What habits do you have that support a goal? So if you want to have a great day, thinking it's a Monday and it's rubbish and it's, you know, you've got a million things to do, isn't going to set you up. So habits of thought, habits of food, habits of things like drinking enough water, and practice those habits till they become part of your brain neurology consistently. That makes sense? Yeah, good. So what habits are you, I'm going to have to refer to you because you're really clear about your goal. What's your habits apart from your driving lessons that you are putting in place to ensure success around passing that driving test?
One of them is not overthinking it. Because
Brilliant.
There was one time where I got really overconfident after a lesson that went wrong.
Fabulous.
And I was telling myself that I was going to go into it and pass my driving test and notice that the following lesson I messed up in every way possible and basically got what came to me deserved, I think.
Yeah. See, what happened is you became ungrounded because your thoughts were all out there. So in martial arts, they teach us to be really rooted to the floor. A really good technique is to do this before you drive. People might think you're mad. If you're feeling stressed, folks, stamp on your heels, ground your energy. Okay, I know it sounds daft, but I teach martial arts, so I know about energy. Okay, so I just want to talk a little bit about that. Was taken after the European Championships in a park in York, where these old men, well, oldish men, were walking the dogs and were falling all over the place because I'm in a bikini. I come from behind the bushes in this bikini and start posing, and women bodybuilders just weren't the thing of the century. I want to talk about your mindset and your move, and I want you to check where you are today. So there is a mood ladder. You should have this up actually, Sue, on your boards. So on the mood ladder, when you are in these areas, and before exams, before driving tests, you can get like this before anything that you're going to go for. What happens is your brain goes into fight and flight. So we have 3 brains. I'll just show you that. That's the brain that when you're grounded, get your energy down. When you're calm, you talked about being calm, not stressed. This brain here is the brain that accesses all the things you've learned. This brain here is where you get over emotional and you start to get stressed. So certain things you have to do, which is to center yourself, check your mood, because it pays nobody to sit here where you're feeling worried. So the question you ask yourself is, what do I need to get me higher up here? Anybody ever notice that when you stress, you lose your sense of humour? It just goes out the window, it just disappears. So these here cause that brain, which they call your leadership function, leads you with it like a champion, goes offline, just shuts down. This part of the brain shuts down. So you have to think about what gets you in the best state. And people will often go, you've made me really impatient. A champion mindset never does that. That person's just done something to me, and I know you wouldn't because you've got a very peaceful face. That person's just done something to me, and I'm choosing unconsciously to feel impatient. Now that takes practice. Something happens at A person really hacks us off, or has the potential to hack us off. The next minute we're hacked off. My partner says it. I'm trying to coach him. You can never coach your partner. He goes, you really wind me up. I go, no. I said something. You chose to be wound up. Don't coach me. But there's a bit in the middle, the B bit, A to C. A is the stimulus, C is your response, and in the bit in the middle is where you can stop and think and say, how do I choose to respond? And rather than get in the hole with them and lose your energy and become here, shut your front brain down, think about how can you get up that mood ladder. It's a lovely tool. And my brother and I used it when they brought it into Airbus. He was the head of quality at Airbus. They changed the culture in Airbus because they made everybody responsible for the mood that they brought in. And when people would walk in, the team leaders would say, how are you today? And they'd go, do you know, I'm really fed up. And the team leader would go, what are you going to do to get up the mood ladder? Fantastic self-regulation tool. Mood is all about self-regulation. It's down to nobody else. You can have everything going on in your life. It's not what happens to you, it's how you choose to respond to it. So, I just want to share this story. I know time, so I'm going to allow a little bit of time for questions, but this one is important. Having a vision. I'm going to share a story with you, and it's called A Tale of A Star. You'll recognise the term A Star from from your studies? Are you all going for A stars in your exams? Yeah? Lovely. Right, okay, do this. There's me and my daughter. We follow the Eagles band. Most of you might not know them, but they sing Hotel California. We've seen them 100 times. That's us at Wembley. My daughter, very intelligent young woman, 27 now, comes to her A-levels. The night before she goes, Mum, she's a criminologist. I've forgotten everything I've ever learned. And I went, you haven't, love. You haven't. It's just stress. See, the front part of the brain just shut down. So she said, what we're going to do? Now, you can never coach your kids. I said, just take a seat. So she took a seat. And I said, I'm just going to do a little bit of relaxation. I'm going to calm you down so that front brain starts to open up. And we started to do a little bit of visualization of her goal. So I said, right, and just bear with me, go on this journey with me, because this could help you in your goals. I said, I want you to imagine you're walking, she went to Birkenhead Sixth Form College, you're walking to college and you have a packet of blueberries in your hand. And I had a packet of blueberries. And every blueberry is a pearl of wisdom of everything you've ever learned. She's doing a sociology A-level. And as you walk down, the sky's blue and you're eating these blueberries and everyone's a pearl of wisdom. And you walk into the exam and you sit down at the desk and you get the exam paper. And it's like you've gone into a restaurant and you're really, really hungry. You could eat anything off the menu. So you could answer any question, basically. And you feel a breeze on your cheek and you go, whoa, this is a breeze. And as you pick your pen up, wisdom full. So I'm talking this to her and she's like this in the chair. First time I've ever been able to get her relaxed. From the age of 3 months, she never had a sleep. So like she's 17 and suddenly she's relaxing. She's hearing what I'm saying. You take the pen and wisdom flows from the pen. And you put the pen down and you finish just ahead of time and you go back of the net and you see the champagne cork prise off the bottle and fly through the sky as you notice the certificate that you achieve for passing your sociology A-level. So she's like this and she says, I said, so what result would you like? So she said, I'd like an A star. I went, see yourself on the certificate reading Hannah O'Neill, A star. This was the bit that got me. What percentage would you like? 100%. I'm thinking, oh, this is a bit of a tall order for me. I said, see the certificate saying, I don't know whether they do say 100% pass mark. Anyway, I created a certificate for her and hung it outside of her bedroom the next day, framed, and it said, Hannah O'Neill, A-star student, 100% awarded by the universe. First thing she sees, it's called an anchor. As she comes out of her bedroom, is the certificate already achieved. I am. She takes the blueberry, she walks to college, and she tells me that on the way, a blueberry flies out of the packet. And she then in that moment goes, oh my God, I've lost a blueberry, I've lost a pearl of wisdom, I'm going to fail the exam. But she managed to get herself back, goes into the exam, says that she read the exam, she had ability to see clearly because her front brain was working, read all of the questions. She said I felt a breeze on her face, whether she did or whether she didn't. Anyway, puts the pen down. Weeks later, she phones me up and she got her results. And she said, Mum, I've got my results. Guess what her result was? Guess what her result? A star? Guess what her percentage was? 100%. And you know what she said to me? It's that voodoo stuff you do. See the power of a vision. When you have a vision, you just don't go, I want to do this. You see yourself through all the steps of that vision. Does that make sense, folks? Really, really powerful, champion mindset. Working with another person to do it's really good. I'm a trained hypnotherapist, but I didn't really do that. I just got to relax, just got her to see it. But she was traumatised by the loss of the blueberry, but we recovered it. So, just thinking about creating your vision. When you have a vision, it needs to have a strong why. Why do I want this? Well, clearly to drive a car. If it's about your A-levels, it's about potentially going to the uni of your choice. If it's about health, it's so it can be the healthiest it can be. You know, you could have a vision for Christmas. How do you want Christmas to be? Christmas can be a very stress, tense time. So you have to find, why do I want this vision? Because your vision sits here, not here. You think of it here, but the energy is activated from the heart. You then, if you want to do this, you imagine what it looks like. See yourself achieving it. What it sounds like when you've done it. So I made Hannah hear the champagne cork being prized off the bottle. What it feels like to achieve that. You have to go into the future. And you imagine it, if you can, in full colour. And a really good technique, I do this with all my clients, I take them to Cheshire Oaks in the head. And I take them into the IMAX theatre and I say, see yourself winning or achieving that goal or that vision, and make it full colour, big, bold colours. And if you can, make it 360 degrees. So wherever you turn around you, you can see yourself in that vision. The first thing you do, though, is you sit in a seat in the IMAX theatre and you see yourself on a movie screen. See yourself driving that car. See yourself taking that test. See yourself being really calm and grounded. See yourself doing that. And then, once you can see on the movie, you step into it and you become it. Does that make sense? Feel yourself driving the car or whatever it might be. And I've just put here, create an anchor. So Hannah's anchor was the certificate outside the door. That was her anchor. It anchored that part of her brain where we'd inserted a vision of success. It's very, very simple. It just means you have to think about, what do I want? Why do I want it? Can I see myself doing it? Watch myself doing it? Step into doing it? Feel what it's like to win, whatever it is I want to win or achieve. Tidy office. I need to do some of this for my tidy office. And if you can, create an anchor. And an anchor might be a post-it note on the mirror in the bathroom. You know, I can do this. It might be something like that. So, nearly there. That was a picture of me doing Tai Chi in the Colosseum. He's not real, but people thought I was part of the act, and was coming up to pay me so that they could have the photograph taken. And one Brazilian guy comes along with dead tight jeans on and tries to get, that's called snake lace trap, tries to get into that position and rips his pants all the way up there. But and wanting to give me money because he thought I was part of the Colosseum setup. But who dares wins? And that's the thing. Are you prepared to step out and go for what you want? Your exams, your driving test, the best you. What's the best you that you want? So habits, the things you do daily, thinking and doing, change the brain positively or negatively. Put you either into fight and flight or that leadership part of your brain, which you want to be online all of the time. Good habits will transform unhealthy habits if you do them again and again and again. And there's no getting away from the again and the again. Training in the gym every day for one day on stage. Trained whole year for one day on stage. But that's why the journey matters more than the one day on stage. That's why the trekking up the Himalayas matters more than touching the plinth at the top. The more you do habits that are good, the more you start to build self-belief and confidence. And they're the biggest predictor of success. Habits, thinking, doing, because they're action orientated. And they help us build our bridge towards our goal as we go. And this is what my Tai Chi master said to me when I first started 20 odd years ago. I said, how do I get really good at Tai Chi? And now I'm a chief instructor. And he went, you need your flying hours. And we're in a world where we want everything quick. But if anything's worth having, it's worth investing focus, discipline and depth. And just thinking about what stops, just a couple more slides, what stops you from achieving goals. And I just want you to look at that and see, do any resonate with you? Lower mood and thinking, think about the mood ladder. Lack of belief, self-confidence. I will, I am. Limiting beliefs versus enabling belief. A limiting belief would be, this is hard. An enabling belief would be, I've got all the resources to deal with it. So everything starts with a belief, and I could do a whole session on that. Diet and hydration. Yeah, diet would have to be in there. High sugar foods, high carbohydrates will fog the brain, and a lack of hydration often means we're really tired. We're mainly 70% water, so drinking water will get you more at your best because it keeps the brain hydrated. Big thing going on at the moment, comparing ourselves to others through social media. Don't. There is no one newer than you. Dr. Seuss said that. Be yourself with skill. Don't compare yourself on social media, because that is a recipe for we're not good enough. And people put fake photographs on there anyway. Lack of sleep, big thing, can get in the way of champion mindset. Others' opinions. Your opinion of you really matters. Only take feedback from people who you value. Inertia. I want to be fit and healthy, but I want to relax on the couch. Which part is winning? So in the cold weather, that probably had a bigger effect on most of us. Old habits, things that we've done again and again, will keep us almost from not going for our goals, and a lack of discipline and focus. So, thought I'd bring Arnie in. So, I don't know, and I'm not name dropping, but he was a friend of my ex-husband. Taught him all the fight scenes in Conan, Barbarian, Predator, and everything. So we used to go and visit Arnie all the time. Arnie said to my husband, she's better than you, and my husband had a really fantastic body. I don't think he's ever forgiven me for that. But he has 6 keys of success. Trust yourself. Never lose sight of your vision or your goal. Even if it's tied in your office, trust that idea. Break the rules now. Have we got any teachers in the room? I don't mean the school room rules. I mean, break your own rules of I can't, I should, I'm too tired. Break those rules. But keep the school rules. But think outside the box, or don't have a box. Allow your creative mind to come out. But break the rule of fear. There is no absence of fear when you have courage, but let courage be your superpower. Never be afraid to fail. It's in failing that we learn the most. You know that thing about when a driving thing goes wrong, that's when you learn the most. You have to fail. When you ski, what do they want you to do? Not that I was very good. They want you to fall over. Toddlers need to fall over to learn to get up. Don't listen to naysayers. Imagine the amount of naysayers that I had. Bodybuilding. Women shouldn't do that. They shouldn't look like that. You'll never do it. With the universe. Didn't listen to them. And I was never, like you're driving, I was never super confident. But I believed inside of me I had what it took to do it. Work hard and give back, which is a little bit about what I'm doing today. Because if I can inspire one mind in this room today, my work is done. This I think is my last slide. Top tips for winning anything. Have a goal, a vision or an intention. Write it down. When you write it down, it's powerful. Write it down where you can see it. Post it down where you can see it. Chunk it down. My gym workout became the goal, not winning the universe. Climbing the Himalayas was getting to the next level, not touching the plinth. Create habits that you support your goals step by step. Talk positively to yourself. 90,000 thoughts a day. Seriously, if we did to other people what we do to ourselves, we'd be up on a bullying charge. You would not treat another person the way we treat ourselves. Change your thinking. Talk positively to yourself. Even if it's, I am willing to be confident. I am willing to believe in myself. If you can't say, I believe in myself, I am willing to. Use setbacks purely as data to give you information to be stronger next time. Celebrate small wins along the way and enjoy the journey, not just the destination. Does that all make sense, folks? Good. Now, just final things, Sue. I'm sorry time-wise, but questions. So I always say, people start off saying this, and I'm going to walk this. Even if you hate Will I Am, just love him for today. They go, I must do this. I really must sort my office out. I have to sort it out. Feel the dread? I should sort it out. That's almost, this is motivation. It's almost coming from a guilt outside of myself. But when I start to move into, actually, I could sort that out. I can sort that out. I will sort that out. I am sorting it out. So always have Will I Am. Because when you work here, from a mood ladder, it will be in the lower levels. Here is where you're really resourceful. So I always say, people go, I don't love Will I Am. I said, I know, but it's a really good saying to go, I will and I am. And then finally, this is one of my teachers. Sadly, she passed. She passed at the age of 90-odd. Phenomenal teacher on how to think properly, how to always think well inside of yourself. And for you guys at this age, if you can get this, God, you're going to set yourself up for life. I wish they taught more of this in schools and to young people. How you start your day, the first thought you have, the first thing you say, oh no, not another day at school, is how you will live that day out. That sets your brain up. And how you live your day is how you live your life. And that is a short-potted version of champion mindset. So, I don't know whether we've got any time, Sue. Any questions?
Have you got any questions, guys?
So I'm just going to ask a few people, and how was it for you today? What's it done for you? You feel more motivated? Brilliant, yeah. About anything specific?
Just A-levels.
A-levels, fantastic, brilliant. Okay, let's go over here. How do you, what are you going away with? More motivation for? I bet you're really pleased. More motivation for A-levels. Driving test, how you feel?
I feel more able to do it. I feel like it's unlocked something.
Okay, brilliant. What's it done for you?
It's helped me a lot because it gives me a little bit of hope for the future, I guess. So,
It gives me hope.
yeah,
Take the little bit out.
gives me a lot of hope.
Good. Don't even have to have a lot. Just give me hope.
Yeah.
Good. Because look, here's the thing. And I'll just say this finally. You know, and I've got a daughter and she's going through something similar. It feels bleak out there. Don't make the world's psyche your psyche. Yeah, we have to deal with those things. You know, rising cost of living and all that. But don't become entrained to what's going on around you. Be careful about how much news you watch. And be an outlier. How can I shine and have a champion mindset even though all of this is going on around me? It's not what happens to you, it's what you do with what happens to you. Finally, what's it done for you today? More confident. Brilliant. Okay, well, I hope you've enjoyed it. I've loved being with you today. And you're going to do some of this. You're brilliant already. You've got everything inside you that you need. Just apply some of this and you will fly. So thank you, everybody. Thank you. And have a fantastic Christmas, not just a good one, a fantastic